flicks me a bad body. So, it's another one, yeah. It's a full strand, yeah. Oh, it's another one, yeah.
What's going on, my good people? This is RIKO_boxing Rico for the Mandem. We have somebody who's a very, very, very special to me right now. The man is hilarious. I believe you know him as the originator who's coined crushing in the gym. Eddie needs to pay you money. I believe you know him as the comedian, the actor, just all in all, amazing human being, an absolute veteran in the streets right now. We have Travis Jay in the building. Thank you very much, my brother.
What's going on, bro? Thank you for having me, man. Thank you. That's a hell of an intro, bro.
Like I said, the flowers were laid. I told you this before the thing already. But you know, it's, as I said, such an honor to have you on, bro, because you've interviewed some of the biggest stars in boxing. Obviously, you do other things as well in terms of comedy. You've been on tour. We are going to plug everything that you're going to be doing. Hopefully, we get some nice exclusives from yourself. But you know, I just want to say thank you very much, brother. I've been watching you for years and years and years. You know, it's I don't know if you know, like Boxing Beats and Rhymes, Lady Shan, and all these type of people. Those are my heroes, man. You know, and actually going from watching people and starting and seeing how they've started to actually coming and seeing where you are right now, truly humbled. You know, and you deserve every single blessing that you have, Travis.
No, thank you, bro, man. Thank you, man. I appreciate that a lot, man. Do you know what I mean? End of the day, like, it's one of those things where there's like a good ecosystem of, like, you know, boxing channels that coming through, and we all kind of inspire each other. So I appreciate it. But do you know what I mean? Everybody's like, there's lots of channels that have inspired me. Do you know what I mean? Random pods I used to listen to back in the day. So it's like, yeah, man, it's big up to everybody, man. Do you know what I mean? I appreciate it, though.
No, I mean, you know, well, don't be too humble now, Trav. Okay. You obviously, you know, you've seen my interactions sometimes on Twitter when I get meh. You yourself have had interactions on Twitter. I will be asking you some questions on that, but but like I say to all of my interviewees, and you're not even an interviewee, your family here. I do obviously RnR Boxing on the Twitter Spaces. I will be doing RnR Boxing podcast on the iBoxingHub channel. It truly is amazing when you get somebody with your status and your stature coming and supporting the little guy like us. So
it's love, bro. Do you know what I mean? At the end of the day, like, it's one of the ones where obviously you're gonna say, "Oh, don't be so humble," but it's one of those things where obviously, like, in this boxing space, we're not fighters in it. So it's like I used to just, like, after a fight, I used to rush to the timeline to talk boxing because I always just wanted to talk boxing. And it's like sometimes you can feel like, oh, just because you're not a fighter, like, you don't really have a platform to speak, or you can't speak because you've never been in the ring in a professional capacity. And I'm just like, to hell with that, man. I will talk boxing with a community of people that want to talk boxing. So, you know, when we started Undefeated Podcast, it was never to be like, we're trying to compete with IFL or this, that, and the third. Nah, bro, we're here literally so that Mandem have somewhere to go to talk boxing.
You get me?
That's it. It's for the fans. It's always been fan first.
And the thing is, Trav, like, you know, you just touched on that real quick. First of all, like, obviously, you and me, we interview fighters, we go to shows, this and this or whatever like that. We act as a bridge for the normal fan to be able to speak to their heroes. You know, we ask them those questions. You know, a lot of the time what we get is, why don't you ask this person this question? Why don't you ask this person? It's like, bro, I asked him the question. Whatever the man says to me, I'm not going to put a gun to his head and say, God damn it, give me the answer that all of the fans want. But
this is it.
Thank you so much. I will be introducing my fellow co-hosts right now. We have Trey, and hopefully Chris is here with us. I don't know if, I think Chris is a little bit late.
Cool.
But we have yours truly, Trey, up in the building right now for this very special episode of Mr. Travis J Undefeated Podcast. Trey, give yourself your flowers, bro.
No, you know what? This is just a tremendous opportunity because we've got the legends and we've obviously got yourself, Rico Boxing. Look, we've got a community here which is special. We just can come on the platform and just talk boxing. We're all fans at the end of the day, and just to have the platform just to come and speak. And look, I'm a fan like both of you. So look, I'm just excited to just come on, talk boxing, and you know, just continue that great energy of what's been happening in boxing this year. Like, I just can't believe what has been happening in boxing. Like, I don't know, obviously, Travis, you've been in the space longer, but we've got my cousin BNG here, Chris.
What's going on, fam? That's KG2 on our channel. He's KG2, fam.
You already know that's KG2. You know what? I kept it quiet.
You got your own KG over here, bro. This is so mad,
I love it. I love it. I love the energy, man.
So, lads, what's your thoughts on the fight that took place this weekend?
Bro, Terence Crawford, boy, he's the man. This is his era. This is his era. He torched Errol Spence. It wasn't like it was a competitive fight. He went there and he beat man up, bro. It was incredible work. Like, obviously, it's one of the ones I've called the Terence Crawford beating Errol Spence from a long time, but to see it go the way it went in such dominating fashion, it almost feels like, rah, I didn't see that though. Like, I don't even know if I can take credit for predicting this because nobody would have imagined it would be that one-sided.
To be fair, my prediction was sort of right-ish. I said, if Crawford doesn't knock out Spence mid to late round, and if it goes to distance, Spence will win. But yeah, Crawford he handled business from round 2 till
figured him out.
You know what, Travis, man? Sorry to say, I've got to put my hands up as well, man. Because
put them high, bro.
I've got to put them hands high.
No,
Look,
Chris, no. It's been a long time coming.
There's no hiding away. Look, I'm a massive Spence fan, man. I was man down.
Sorry to hear that, boy.
Just watching the domination, it looked like an execution, if I'm honest with you, man. It was so one-sided, but at the same time, you know, when they say fighters gain fans from fights like this, I became a massive Crawford fan. Yeah, look, I respected his game, but I just felt, you know, Spence, he's been at the weight for, you know, a decade. He's been doing the same thing over and over, pressure fighting, breaks down fighters. And I just thought, you know, the smaller man, he's going to eventually break him down and win the fight, man. But look, big up to Crawford and big up to the Crawford fans. Rico, I have to big up Rico because, bro, why didn't you make a bet or something, man? Because you did. Did you? Okay. He predicted stoppage for Crawford. And he predicted a stoppage for Inoue.
Oh, right. Okay.
I called it to the round. Also, I called the Inoue one to the round. You know, not to just stunt, but
it's your platform, bro.
Trey, I did tell you. I said, and you know what he was saying to me? Oh, Errol, nah, he's the truth. Lies.
Man.
Lies, rude boy. Okay.
It must have been hard. Travis. No, I was gonna say it must have been hard, yeah. Like being a Spence fan and watching that beating. Like I've never, because I was a massive Floyd fan, innit? And I used to be like nervous as hell because I feel I never want the fans, the haters of Floyd, to ever have their day. So to see like Spence get beaten, see the devastation in with like the fan base, I'm like, raw, that would have been me, boy, because I would have looked for any reason to defend Floyd. I would have gone to the absolute end, right? Yeah, it's rough still.
No, I mean, look, at the end of the day, ladies and gentlemen, I gave the science as to why a one Terence Bud Crawford would absolutely maim that gentleman in the ring and send him back to the 9th gate of Asgard. Many times I had said this, Travis, and many times people have said to me, "Oh, Rico, you don't know boxing or whatever." I just had a smile on my light-skinned face, and I was like, "Okay, cool." However, since we do have the comedian Travis J, I believe that the jokes are going to be flying today, gentlemen, right? Because we obviously have Travis for quite a bit of time. Thank you again, obviously, Travis. And
ready for the roasting.
Yes, Trey. And it's not because I don't love you.
Just a quick one, sorry. Just a quick one. You predict that Triple D is going to knock out Usyk as well.
I'm glad you asked me that question, Chris.
Yes.
Now, is that really what you predicted? That's insane, bro.
I believe.
You've used all your light skin points, and now you're about to waste them.
Because of these predictions, my you know, back in the day in the Pokemon game, when you smash up another Pokemon, your Pokemon gets the level up, and then the magic, and you might evolve or whatever. I am Charizard right now. Okay.
This guy, bro.
So what I have to say, and since obviously Chris, you've just asked me, in front of 46,000 fans in Warsaw, Poland, a one Daniel Dubois is going to become the unified heavyweight champion of the world by sparking and sending Alexander Usyk wherever the ancestors may be in Valhalla. Now,
I'd love
Again,
to explain. Please explain to me how you've got there. What performance did you see Dubois put across in the ring here that lets you think he's gonna do anything to Usyk? Which
I'm
one
glad
was
you
it?
asked me that, Trav, because I understand, some people have qualms about maybe the knee and obviously the Joe Joyce fight. Obviously, we've seen Joe Joyce get absolutely manhandled by 270 pounds of Chinese inside fightingness in a one Zilly Bang Zhang. I believe that the rematch. Actually, no, I'm not gonna give that prediction. Yeah, but I do believe that Daniel. I do believe that Daniel will turn up for the fight. And big up Shy, big up the 505. Please go and follow Shy.
Hold on. You have £200 bets with people saying that Dubois is going to win. That are pending.
Yes, that's correct.
You've made these bets.
Yes.
How many?
How many? I have bets with Ring IQ, and I'm an honorable man. I will pay my bets, and I will be wrong. However, if I'm correct, I will flame that timeline like I literally have gas.
Okay, but bro. What if you're wrong? How many £200 bets are you throwing out there, bro?
No, just 2.
In this cost of living crisis, you just throw it out.
I'm not saying cost of living crisis, bro. Inflation.
You're throwing what? How many bets are pending? I want to know the actual details.
So I bet. No. I literally only bet like 3 bets. Okay, right.
So £600.
One of them. Hang on. I don't know if you know the budget, but no, that's
okay.
That's outrageous.
Okay, cool.
I'm not earning Travis J comedian money right now. Okay, it's just Rico in the Harry Potter cupboard money.
Listen,
currently.
Listen, we're not speaking about none of that stuff, bro. Taxmen are watching all kinds of stuff, bro.
We're
not even talking the
No. Taxman, he's not earning like that. No, well, why shout out to Tony Ellis. This is why betting is haram. No, brother. At the end of the day, I have faith in a one Daniel Dubois. I believe.
What? No, but why though? You need to explain why. What was it? What moment was it, bro? What moment was it that made you a believer in that man? There's always a moment. I've got irrational belief.
I believe it. Can I? I'll give you just the simple one.
Go on.
Is because unlike unlike Tyson Fury, Daniel Dubois actually signs agreements. He actually takes the fight. He knows that he is a massive underdog. He knows that he's going in front of 46,000 fans, Ukrainians and Polish alike, in Warsaw, Poland. And he knows that he has the world against him, but not me. You have me in your corner, Daniel. And I'd just like to big up his absolutely lovely sister, Miss Caroline Dubois, pound for pound, future star.
So let me just respond to what you just said there, yeah? And I want to just make this perfectly clear. I don't think nobody on any boxing channel dislikes Tyson Fury more than me. But you saying to me, just
and that's why you and I are spiritual brothers.
Yeah, maybe, but we're gonna divide here because when you're saying that's your reason for why he's like, oh, because unlike Tyson Fury, he signed the contract. I hear that. They're in different places.
Does he not have a
They're
puncher's
in very
chance?
different places. They're in very different places in their careers. Tyson Fury has a reason to be concerned because it means, right, this guy could take my belt. Dubois may never get to that rodeo of championship boxing. So he has to sign whatever title shot will come his way. Because let's be real, I don't personally think mentally Dubois is really serious about boxing like that. I don't think he's got that fighter's mindset. I just don't.
Well, in response to your response to the rebuttal, he has Don Charles in his corner. Now, Don Charles has, trained and supported some of the best, including a one Derek Chisora who will be fighting Gerald Washington on the Anthony Joshua card. I believe it's been announced today. That's right. We have a lot to talk about, gentlemen, in terms of all of that. However, can I ask you all for your final predictions? Actually, I don't really want to. I don't want that negative.
No, go on. You have to. You got to give us our opportunity to say why we think you're wrong.
Go on, guys. Go on.
I think Usyk most probably will knock out Daniel Dubois 3 to 5.
Absolutely. No, whoa, maybe not that early, but it will definitely happen.
You know what? I'm predicting he's gonna do it in under 9 rounds, man. I think he's gonna get him tired. He's gonna dance around him. He's gonna be missing hard shots, Dubois. And what's gonna happen is we need to put respect on the IQ of Usyk. Usyk needs to be considered to be one of the best, man. And unfortunately, I'm thinking that Dubois is the underdog in this fight, bro, man. He's going to Poland where that's Usyk's second home. Don't think that Poland has nothing to do with Ukraine. There's quite a few Ukrainian people that live in Poland. So this is like a homecoming for him. So I don't think he's gonna relinquish his belts and let a man from England come and take it. So that's what I'm saying, man.
Absolutely.
It's like the saying always goes: never bet on a man who has absolutely nothing to lose.
This guy, man.
I mean, okay. In Usyk's last 6 fights, who has he knocked out?
Bro, come on, man. We're not holding him to that metric because Floyd, they used to do this with Floyd. Floyd don't knock people out. He ain't got power. Bro, understand when you're in there with someone that knows boxing like how these men do, it doesn't matter. It's just a sustained beating over 12 rounds. And it won't be necessarily dominating like how Crawford and Spence was looking. But it's just outboxing. Your mind will slowly shut off and you're just showing up round after round. And mentally you've checked out of there because there's nothing for you to do.
I agree with Travis.
I agree as well. I agree, man. Sorry, Rico, man. You're my brother.
Don't apologize to me. Apologize when I'm absolutely blaming everybody like on that day.
I'm going with Travis in this one, man. He's 1,000% right, honestly. But if your thing goes through, I'm not gonna lie, you'll be a very wealthy man.
Yeah, no, 100%. 100%. That's gonna be a big deal.
The one person that I bet it with was Ring IQ. Shout out to my OG, triple OG, to the OG Julius. Go check out Ring IQ. The relay is absolutely sensational. One of my heroes. And I bet it with him because, when I go back on his live that day, oh man, it will be sensational. Now, in terms of the science of a Dubois victory, I believe that Daniel is going to go in there full blazing, only training maybe for an output of 4 rounds. The knee will not bend, ladies and gentlemen. The knee will be straight, not adjacent to anything.
They're supposed to bend though. That would just be weird.
Yeah,
that'd be a real handicap if that didn't. If that's how the knee was operating.
You know what I mean. You know what I mean.
You gotta work on your light skin bars, fam. These ain't connecting today, fam. They're sounding.
What you mean, Bev? What you mean?
So well. You started off so well, bro.
Wait, hold on. Have we not seen a more? Okay, just stepping away from the disrespect of Daniel Dubois. Ryan Garcia, that knee was beautiful. Okay, I had my knee senses tingling then. I don't know if you guys have watched Spider-Man and you're Marvel fans and stuff like that. When Spidey senses are tingling and my knee senses tingle, and I'm like, the knee, very soon. I call that one too. So don't call me Mystic Meg just yet. But once that one happens, oh man, absolutely sensational. However, Travis, obviously just moving on from this, I want to get your thoughts on Inoue, sort of the pound for pound list. We slightly touched on Errol Spence and Terence Crawford. We're going to go back to that. But what did you think about Inoue's performance against Stephen Fulton?
I thought it was good, man. It was good. And I was like, my prediction on that one was one of those, if it goes like this, or if it goes like this, like, if Fulton is able to neutralize him with his boxing and be slick, then, Inoue could be in problems because, power punchers, as they advertised him as, tend to have a lot of issues with guys like that. And Inoue just came out and just boxed his ears off and then knocked him out. It was just one of those performances where he's like, don't ever put me in the box of just being a puncher. Like, I know how to really do this thing. And, Fulton, it was a weird watch, like, at first, because whilst the shots were landing on Fulton, I was thinking to myself, right, he's taking it. And then he started to slightly show signs of growing into the fight. Like, I think it was like the round before he started landing some shots on Inoue. I thought, okay, I think he got his legs under him because I think maybe, like, I looked at his box rec and I think that might have been the first time traveling, like, fighting away. So I think, let's see if he's finally getting his legs under him. And then next round, it was all over. And I think it's just one of the ones where you just got to say, yeah, look, man, that weren't no journeyman he knocked out in there. That was a champion. And he just went in there, outboxed him, and then blew him away. And I'm just like, salute, bro. Salute.
You know what?
Trey, what are your thoughts? And then Chris?
Can I just add something quickly? Just very quickly, just to sort of add to that. I'm not even going to lie. The fight itself, it was a tremendous one, and it delivered on all levels. But my question was, why did Stephen Fulton, the champion, go to this man's country? He should have brought Inoue to the Mecca, which is America, in my opinion, and it would have been I think the victory would have been much more bigger if Inoue came to America and then would have stripped him and taken the belts back to obviously Japan.
But you know what it is though? I don't think there's a massive audience for Fulton over in the US. So I think it's like a Clarissa Shields, Savannah Marshall type situation where Clarissa will come over because they don't really do the numbers on that side. So you go over there to try and take the hype, and unfortunately, he just came up mad.
In regards to that question, though, Trey, I don't know if you guys watched SpongeBob back in the day, but the answer is money. So they were never ever going to generate that amount of money, no matter where they were going to be staged at in America. Stephen Fulton has a following, has an audience. However, I don't know if you guys are on the timeline like that, and obviously like the acronym LDBC. That type of audience. Yes, Travis. I know the two of them. But we're slowly putting these men in the dirt, so it's not too bad. No, but obviously Stephen is a great fighter. I had it very one-sided is because just the simple, as soon as Stephen's trainer said that absolute nonsense about the gloves and all of this and everything like that, and I saw Inoue's face, I saw that samurai absolutely looking to slash him up into 5-10 pieces. Okay, and it was never going to be close. Never.
But what's the good thing about those type of moments about the weight, and they complain about this and that, it's just to piss him off. I don't think they even believe that at all. I just think it's nice to put a chip on someone's shoulder where now he's got to prove something to everyone that he's clean. And it's just a little trick, because remember, he's away. He's got to do something to upset my man. He's at home. So I don't really look, because after the fight, he never said nothing.
He beat him like he owed him money.
And even the way he wrapped his hands, he said to him, he goes, I think he agreed to wrap his hands the way they wanted. So it's like, Rah, so there's no excuses. You man cannot go away and talk nonsense. He had their number early. So it was just little mind games.
And the thing is, as a manager, as a promoter, as somebody who is a representative of one Stephen Fulton, you are not telling me that nobody in their right minds is actually researching the sanctioning body that you're going to be under whoever sanctioned it in Japan. You're not telling me that you've been researching other fighters that have gone over to Japan. He's not the only one. Stephen Butler. Is it Stephen Butler? Mr. Butler, who obviously fought Inoue. Paul Butler. I'm so sorry. My bad, Paul. My bad. You need your flowers, bro, because you lasted 11 rounds, okay? And you kind of look pretty okay-ish. Sorry. But it's Inoue had a point to prove, and I believe that he will be a double undisputed weight champion because obviously the winner's going straight into the undisputed fight with, I believe it's a Mexican gentleman.
He's the guy that was in the ring afterwards, isn't it?
Oh yeah. If I saw that and I was him, I would be terrified. I would be like, do you know what it is? Long. Nah, it's very long. So Travis, obviously we just touched on the Terence Crawford versus Errol Spence. Okay. How did you have the fight? What did you obviously think about the fight, in terms of the one-sided victory? And what do you think about the rematch being at 154 pounds, which Errol has, and I can confirm this, activated the rematch clause. So it'll be at 154 pounds.
Yeah, to be fair, it's just going to be the same again. Like, Crawford has got his number. Like, people obviously are going to put this down to like power and this. It wasn't just power. He literally was just a completely better boxer than him in there. Like, I reckon that it's sometimes you watch a fighter and he loses and you think, okay, there's certain things you didn't do in there tonight that you can, if you work on them again, you can get it right. It wasn't that. You weren't strong enough. You weren't fast enough. Your mind wasn't moving at the speed that Crawford's was. Like, so the things you were doing, he was completely ahead of you by a good half a second. And it's just those times in there where you just start to think, and I understand why people are saying, oh, maybe you should retire. And I reckon it's only on the basis of, not that I think retirement makes sense, but I reckon for some fighters, if I'm not going to be at the top level anymore, then I'm going to walk away from the sport. And sometimes it's like, bro, you just lost to the guy and he ain't dropping them belts anytime soon. And we're both going up to 154. So any chance of you getting a belt is going to mean going through him. And he's got you So realistically, like if those are your options and you're thinking, well, you know, if that's the case, then I'm not going to be a journeyman, then cool, walk away from the sport. But I don't think Errol Spence is done. I think it's like slightly unfair that now people have turned into brain analysts and now they're trying to find a way to diagnose Errol Spence with some brain condition just because he took the worst beating of his life. Like sometimes you do match up with someone that's got your number, bro. Like this ain't the first time we've seen someone get starched that we didn't expect. But Crawford was ready for the fight of his life. Errol Spence, unfortunately, maybe he was ready, but there's a lot of lifestyle choices that Errol Spence has made over the years that, hey, it don't just run off, bro. It's there. The credit is still there in your body. So for me, I think it was an amalgamation of things, but ultimately, Crawford was better than Errol Spence, and I think he was always going to be better than Errol Spence.
Absolutely. I do think, and I want your opinion on this, Travis. What do you think about Derek James keeping him in after the fourth round? I mean, that second round knockdown was terrifying.
I didn't like that. I think the fight went on for 2 rounds too long. I think the 7th round is when I felt like, all right, wrap it up, man. It's done. There's nothing else to see here. Before that, I still feel like, and I think this is the reason why Terence didn't go for the kill. Like, you know, when you've got somebody that's dead in front of you, I don't think he ever felt like Errol Spence was dead, because I think, you know, at the end of the day, this is a fight for undisputed. You're a world champ. I'm never going to just assume because you're on wobbly legs now that you're food. So he's just very much kept it cautious, stuck to the game plan. I think he always knew like, right, my power is certified, in it. Like, I know if I keep landing like this, you're going bed. And I think it was after the second knockdown, or maybe the third one, when he was shouting to Jamel Charlo in the ringside. That's when he was like, no, my man, he's done now. I can focus
he's
on
some
you.
Man. He's some man.
Different.
He's some man. He actually looked. I just I don't know if you know all the people. Big up to all of the listeners. Please follow the channel. Please follow Travis, especially all my brothers Trey and Chris as well. He actually, and that was the round that he actually stopped him in the 9th. I thought that they were going to stop it in the corner in the 8th, if I'm not mistaken. However, Derek, like many, you know, there is a special connection between trainer and fighter. Now, this is something that we have to always take into account when we see these late stoppages, is that even though we see something, when you're invested so emotionally in somebody and to train them for years and stuff, I kind of get it. But at the same time, you know, live to fight another day. Yeah,
bro. Like, look how many men criticized Tunde for like with Yard in terms of like, you know, go for it, and obviously that's a more sort of a sign of inexperience. But when it's time for Tunde to throw in the towel when Anthony's done, you don't mess about.
No.
You know what I mean? And that's because it's like, yo, I know my guy and I know when he's done. So for me, I feel like that didn't necessarily show with Derek James's choice. Like, I feel like it's more of an agreement of never throwing the towel where I'm concerned. And I think he's just respecting his choice. Because remember, Errol came out and was speaking about, I can't remember who it was, but he was speaking about somebody throwing in the towel or somebody quitting. So if your man's come out and spoken like that, you can't save him. He's already signed up to a certain country, the Warriors code, as you know, Eubank Senior would say. Let me go in there. Let me go. It's gonna be what it's gonna be. And I think that's more so what it was than anything else. Because Derek must have known Donnie was finished, man.
Chris, what are your thoughts on it? And then Trey will go after, bro.
Well, yeah, he took a beating. It was painful to watch. I think if they were to rematch, like you said, they are at 154. I feel that Errol will make some adjustments, but I think it's going to be even worse than the first fight, because just remember, Crawford was only in gear 2. He didn't go all out, and remember, he was fighting at southpaw. So do you know what I mean? So I think the rematch, I really think, yeah, it's going to be worse. It's going to be worse, and I think this time. Sorry.
Oh, no, carry on, Chris. Carry on. Sorry.
Knock him out. Like, literally knock him out.
Are you with me on this one the next time, Chris?
Listen, I was right. My prediction, I said mid to late round. If Crawford doesn't stop in mid to late round, yeah, if it goes to points, well, it didn't, but if it did, there's a possibility that yeah. But yeah, Crawford, the better man won. Your prediction, Trey?
You know what? If I'm honest with you, obviously I was wrong about my prediction. Look at Rico smiling already. Yeah, of course, man. Cool.
It takes a real man and gentleman to realize and understand when they were wrong. And you know what? On behalf of Terence, I accept your apology of denial of his greatness.
No, you know what? No. Big up Crawford. Obviously, Travis and Bienji said it best. He was prepared for this fight, and he was just a better man on the night. For me, if I was advising Spence right now, I don't know if you guys sort of seen in the news. I'm hearing talks that when Charlo steps in the ring with Canelo, one of his belts will become vacant. So I just think I would advise Spence move up 154. Just forget about the Crawford fight right now. I think he could have a potential fight with Tim Tszyu. Tim Tszyu, if you look like online, there's things with Tim Tszyu hoping that Spence would have won that fight, so he could move up to fight him. There's a little beef in there. So if I was advising Spence, 154, fight either Tim Tszyu or Keith Thurman at 154 and just keep the ball rolling, really. And maybe in the near future, probably Crawford, at 154. Maybe.
Leave that man alone.
Ravi,
Leave that man alone.
Listen, Keith Thurman should fight Conor Benn. I don't think Keith Thurman's ready to fight. What's his name? Errol Spence or Crawford.
Clarissa Shields.
Keith Thurman been inactive for like what, 20 months?
No, Travis, you laugh.
I know the talk has been going on between them two, Clarissa Shields.
I had
Why not?
I actually had Dimitri Salia on the Twitter Space show yesterday. RnR Boxing, come check that out every other day, or if not every day. Yeah. And he had actually said, one of the panelists had asked him a couple of exclusives actually from Dimitri. He had actually said that there's no way in any type of universe that Clarissa Shields will be fighting a Keith Thurman. I actually have Clarissa winning that fight. Funny enough.
Get out of here, man.
Oh, what you mean?
Nonsense, man.
You're up right now, Rico, man. Just walk away, man. You're up.
Whoa. Have we all not seen the Guat? Sorry, my American followers yesterday said I was saying this name mad, but the Guat. Okay, have we not seen
the
Guat? My bad. That sounds so wild. The Guot's sparring partner videos. I know it's only sparring.
Random dudes as well.
She pieced those gentlemen up.
They're not Thurman, bro. Come on, man. Stop this, bro.
This
is like when the Ronda Rousey and Floyd Mayweather caught fire for some dumb reason. Like, everyone got to relax.
Travis, you are comparing one of the greatest, if not the greatest fighter of our generation to Keith Thurman. Can you just stop?
Bro, I'm not comparing them at all. I'm saying do not put men and women in the ring. It's not going to work.
For sure.
Even if he's saying he's going to stick on one jab, he's going to stick on one until he gets embarrassed. And then all of a sudden now he's throwing big rights to the body. Like, what are we saying right now? I don't want to see it. I don't want this to happen. And she
will duck every overhand right to go for her first stoppage.
Listen to yourself, man.
Just please, look, she's the GOAT. Let her just stay in the lane.
Yeah,
it's like saying Serena Williams versus Federer in tennis, but this is a contact sport.
Yeah,
this is punching. This is brutal sport, man. Let's not get the gender.
See men and women compete at all.
We've seen obviously on that. I won't touch too much onto it. However, we've seen people with transition type of thing. I believe that there was an MMA fight with, and we all saw that woman get her head absolutely
crushed her skull.
It was disgusting, Trav.
Absolute
like whoever sanctioned that should be in prison,
bro.
Okay.
Sorry, this is why I'm like, I'm not even letting this convo gather. No momentum. No, it's not going to happen. Thurman, Clarissa Shields is stupid. People are obviously, looking at the sparring videos and maybe getting excited. I don't know who's getting excited. They should chill the hell out because
not me.
Look, bro, sparring is certain things. You know what I mean? That she's working on stuff. They know that what they're there to do. They're getting paid by her. They don't want to come in there to knock out a woman. Sorry, brother. I'm not rolling.
Okay, all right. We're gonna move swiftly from the misogynistic. We're gonna move on. We're gonna move on from that one. However, there's obviously a number of questions that I want to ask you, Trav. Thank you again, obviously, for coming through. We have Mr. Anthony Joshua fighting a Dillian White.
Bro, sorry to cut you. Can we address this thing here, bro? Where are you, fam? Because I was thinking the same thing as well. When that question came in, I said, I don't know
Chris, what type of I didn't even want to say it. Chris is in the hospital right now in the corner.
Brother, is that like you know them photo booths? You know them photo booths from back in the day where I can get his passport pictures. Where's Donny streaming from right now?
Trav, you had to do him. We all could see the comments. Trav was like, "Do you know what it is?" Nah,
You know, I tried not saying nothing, man. I just,
Man sitting there with the single curtain all the way around him, you know.
He couldn't even get the green screen background, just not for the one time. Oh, Chris.
He didn't even go for the filter. You know the fake background where it's just like a hologram and all of a sudden you're in Hawaii and that. Crazy. Harry Potter's covered in that.
He's in the Harry Potter cover. Travis knows about the Harry Potter cover.
Nah, that's Captain Odd. He put that in the comments still.
That is my brother. Just a real quick plug. Anybody in the Reading or Twyford area, please go see my brother. I'm wearing all of his merchandise right now. Odd Body Tattoos. We're here with Travis J. We're here with Chris. We're here with yours truly, Trey. We're having an incredible discussion. Sorry, Chris. Next question.
No, you were saying about AJ.
Thank you so much, Trav. Anthony Joshua will be fighting Dillian Whyte for the second time. Obviously, I think it's been 6 years until the last bout. We obviously all saw what happened. Contrary to popular belief, Dillian did have AJ hurt in that fight. However, I did have AJ stopping him in the 7th round. You don't just need to follow the predictions, damn it. However, how do you see this fight going? What do you think about AJ and his work with Derek James? And what do you think about? I believe that Dillian's being trained by Bomac. So it's a part 2.
And it's Buddy McGirt.
Buddy McGirt. I do.
That's it.
Okay. So Buddy McGirt. Take it away.
So for me, like, see with Dillian, I've got a really, on my channel I say it all the time. And every time I say it, it irks me because I've got such a nuanced opinion on Dillian Whyte. Like as a man, I think he's a great guy. I think his story is phenomenal. I think the work he does for other fighters on the come up is fantastic. Like there's stuff that we all know about, and there's stuff that like it's just behind the scenes stuff with lesser known names. Like I just know him to be a great guy. Just as a boxer, I'll be honest, I don't really rate where he is right now at this stage of his career. I don't see it being a difficult fight for AJ right now. Just judging off of their last performance with Franklin, I'm like, he was in a very competitive fight with Franklin. And, I'll be honest, when I watched the fight on the night, I thought like he lost. Whereas AJ wasn't in a competitive bout. AJ's standard that he was held to was knock him out or we're just going to go crazy. He didn't knock him out, but he probably didn't lose more than 1 or 2 rounds in that fight. It was a very simple, easy win for him. So for me, like I feel like boxing-wise, they're at different places in their career. Unfortunately, Dillian is on the downward trajectory. AJ is just one of the ones we're trying to work out where he is. But as far as the level slip, he hasn't slipped below a certain level. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, you might say, 2 fights against Usyk, he's lost those. The second fight, people don't really... He would have got more credit had he not melted down at the end and gone crazy. Like, because his performance was really good. Like, his boxing, he did well. I mean, you're beating Usyk by the 9th round. And then you gas out because Usyk just turns on the bloody jets, bro, and just goes insane. But, as far as where they're at, I don't see it being a difficult fight. The only real concern I have is, like, is he going to knock him out? Do you know what I mean? Because the way AJ's talking about knockouts right now, it don't sound like it's something he really is passionate about. He's very much like, AJ don't really give you no definite answer. Do you know what I mean? You'd be like, right, you're going to knock out Dillian Whyte? Whoa, we're both lions. Do you get where I'm coming from? You're like, bro, that's not even really the answer to the question. But so AJ, I don't think he's trying to people please anybody anymore. So I think he's going to win by any means necessary. Now, on the Derek James link up, I like it because I think AJ's issues were more mental. Do you know what I mean? I felt like, him coming into the game as a media darling, it made him shape his personality a certain way and he grew into the role. I speak like a politician. I don't say the wrong thing. I don't try and be inflammatory. I say nice things. And then he showed up to the Black Lives Matter march and all of a sudden, now people just can't stand AJ. Do you know what I mean? He needs to get him the hell out of here. Something about him. He just makes me sick. So now I think a lot of this abuse, coupled that with some losses to Usyk, and now people are calling him a dickhead and saying he needs to retire and all that type of stuff. He's like, you know what? To hell with you lot. Donnie's in Texas all the time, chilling, going to the gym, going home. Derek James was talking about him saying like, right, this guy just comes in. If anything, he he asks too many questions. He's always like really wanting to know what's what, and then he just goes home. So I feel like AJ is in a different space mentally right now, and I think that's a result of being away from British media, being away from what he's been used to, being the head honcho in his camp. So I think it's been positive, and also I think the knock-on effect of Errol Spence losing is a nice wake-up call to know that this thing doesn't happen by affiliation. Like, you're not just going to be around everybody and everybody's going to be cool. No, every man has got to make sure they go and do their job, because even big Errol Spence can go out there and get torched. So you need to be playing your game correctly. And I think it's the best warning shot that life can give you certain times when your boy right next to you gets smoked and you realize how real this thing is. So I feel like AJ should be able to go in there, get the win, and potentially get a KO.
Now, just speaking on the Trey, I'd like to know your prediction, and then we're going to go to the good brother Chris in the hospital. Trey, what do you think?
I agree completely with Travis. I'm not going to lie. AJ right now is not the AJ of old, where he would have obviously come in fearless. Obviously, things happened in his career. I'm talking about the Andy Ruiz loss and also the Usyk losses as well, where he just thought, look, I'm getting too much damage here, man. I've got to be more defensive. So I think mentally, I agree with Travis that the backing of Derek James would help him. And going into this sort of fight with White, I think it's the perfect fight for him to have. Reason why is he knows what is the end goal, which is the Wilder fight. He just needs to win. So I don't think we're gonna, see a performance where everyone thinks, oh yeah, it's gonna be a scrappers. And look, I think AJ is gonna do by any means necessary just to get the W, so that they could obviously think moving forward, which is Wilder next. And I think BNJ, you were saying yesterday on the pod that Wilder and Ruiz could also happen as well. So look, the dynamics of the heavyweight division now is looking like it's coming good. Obviously, Fury spoiled it with the whole Ngannou situation, but let's not get into that. But look, I think AJ is just going to win. I think he's going to win a unanimous decision, man, I think.
Chris?
I think on paper, everybody is saying, it's one-sided. AJ is going to win. But me personally, I think it's a 50-50 fight. I feel that somebody has to get knocked out in this fight. I can't see it going to distance, if I'm honest with you, because look, they've both got 3 L's, right? And they're both hungry. So it's just like AJ has no choice but to win this fight. But I think if he was to beat Dylan on points, I don't think the fans will be happy. They want to see a knockout. Everybody wants to see the old AJ. I mean, look, I was saying this before. A lot of people was cussing me. I would rather see AJ fight Baby Miller, because I think Baby Miller will bring that dog in, the dog out AJ. Do you know what I mean? That fight could potentially happen in the future. But
I did ask Dimitri about that fight, but I'll tell you guys after.
Yeah. I feel that it's going to be scrappers. I think they're going to start off cautious between round 1, 2, and 3, and then from there it's just going to go on and on. They're going to be swinging. Dylan's going to be swinging them left hooks.
See, the thing is, we always say this whole thing of, this is going to bring the dog out of AJ. This is going to bring. You got to understand, their quote unquote rivalry between them is like how Arsenal and Tottenham used to be back in the day. Bro, you man are 12. I understand that you hate us and you show up for this beef. You show up to play. Yeah, let's be real. We're not competing. We're not at the same races. Do you know what I mean? And I think it's literally been this. Like, when AJ talks about Dylan, it's like, this guy is so, like, he's proper on it. But it's like, bro, your issues are that way. Do you know what I mean? This Usyk and trying to get your thing back from Usyk and Wilder and Fury. Those are the fights of your era. Dylan is not going to be a fight of his era. Do you know what I mean? He handled that work earlier on. He showed everybody how to beat Dillian White. Now these men just come afterwards and look for the uppercut, get it, and it's done. Do you know what I mean? And this is the frustrating part, because now I just feel like I'm one big Dillian White hater. I'm not. But when I watched that last fight again with Franklin, and he was just over blocking the uppercut, I'm like, yeah, he knows that's the shot. He knows that's the shot. You can't beat a fighter that has a off button that we all know about. There's going to be a time where I get to it.
You said off button.
No, but big up the body snatcher though, man. Look, I know it's
This is
not.
what I'm saying. Yeah, I feel bad
Yeah,
because I really like
I
him.
know.
I love
Big up.
Dillian.
Big up.
I love
I
Dean.
love
I love the whole
Dylan.
White
I love
family.
Dylan.
I love
I'm
everything
like,
that they stand
I
for.
miss
I love
Dylan
Dylan.
and Mark Tibbs working together.
That's
Me
what I'm
bro.
talking about.
That was the
That's the
worst.
partnership, bro.
He
That
had
is
Dave
it.
Coldwell in his
When he
corner.
took his first L from AJ, he just got better. He was even supposed to fight Wilder one stage, but
I'm
things
saying.
happen. But I feel
Let's
that
go. Remember
when
that.
he fought,
Yeah,
if Mark Tibbs was in his corner when he fought Povetkin at that fight, I guarantee you, Dylan, because he was winning. He was winning.
Mm.
Yeah.
he was beating everybody. He was
He was
fighting all these tough fights and beating everybody, bro.
Yeah. So I don't know. Yeah, I just oh, look, it's done now. But
I hate how his story went. I hate
Yeah.
how the story went.
I
So
miss-
jarring.
5 years undefeated, over
Fam.
1,000 days as the WBC #1.
Come on.
Fam.
We all
Yeah.
know the story. We all know the accolades, ladies and gentlemen. However, it is unfortunate because for that first Povetkin fight, he needed somebody in his corner, and obviously Dave Coldwell had to be that guy. As soon as I saw, big love to you, Dave. Nothing against you,
Wait, hold
anything
on.
like that.
When Xavier Miller when he in the
No,
corner?
Dave Coldwell was in his corner for that Povetkin fight at the back of
No.
Eddie's garden.
no,
Really?
it was
No.
no. It was
Nah.
what's his name? Miller was
Xavier.
there.
Yeah.
Miller. It was
That was
Miller,
his-
man.
that's he left. Yeah,
1 second.
Yeah, he was
It
there.
was definitely
then-
Miller, man.
he might have been in the corner because I know Xavier weren't really vocal in the corner. Man, was talking over him over there.
In the first Povetkin fight for Dillian.
Yeah.
Yes.
And
Need to check
it's
that
jarring
back.
because Dillian looked good in there. His jab was looking fantastic for
He
all
was
that
he
fight.
was piecing him up, and I was literally having a conversation with my uncle. We were literally chilling, talking about life and God knows what.
Mm,
Next thing, uppercut, bang. I was like,
could not believe it.
he's gonna get up, right, isn't he? And we were both just there like,
I was at a show, yeah, and I finished my set and
Yes,
I've gone
sir.
into my car to watch the fight on my phone. Sat in the field, I'm like, yeah, cool. I'm gonna watch the fight and I just drive home. I've seen man get knocked out, and I sat in my car for 40 minutes in silence. Like, what happens now? Like, this brother's whole campaign was, I'm not getting my title shot. I'm gonna do all this work until I get my shot, and it's like, rah, now you're
maximum
just in the abyss.
violence.
Yeah, bruv.
That's it, yeah, bro.
You know what, Travis? You know how you was feeling at that moment is how I felt a couple
This
days
thing.
ago. Strap
Aw.
season. That's what I was
Aw.
calling for, bro.
Sorry.
I was strap season, bro. Like I was on it.
Even
On it.
Big Fish
And
get
and
caught,
and what a glorious couple of days after has it been? The timeline, like me, is rarely speechless. However, I've not heard a whisper by the LDBC, whatever type of acronym they'd like to call themselves these days. And you know what? The silence is golden. Simply on this one.
Nah, the PBC fan base, they've been working, fam. Do you know what I mean? They've been out here bringing that, that doctor phone call. They've been blasting that thing everywhere as a way to justify and explain. And the thing is, yeah, we spoke about it on our show, innit? And I'm just like, at the end of the day, no one's verified this man's identity yet. Bro, any man could phone in. I could phone into a channel today and just say anything. Do you know what I mean? That's how much this thing has gone out of hand. Now, I'm not saying that the guy was completely wrong in everything he said, but the fact is, he's fought twice since this crash. He's won twice since this crash at world level. Do you know what I mean? We can't just now all of a sudden we're going to talk just because Crawford made it look easy. He was always going to make this thing look easy. The guy's a more dynamic fighter than Errol Spence. That's it. That's it.
Errol Spence said that he was going to put him in a spliff.
Bro, man, we're hoping that Errol Spence was going to be too big and too strong. Let's really break that down. Nothing about skill, nothing about punch styles, and just too big, too strong. Well, the guy was too small, but he was too strong. Where do we go from here? 154 won't save you because remember, Errol's been boiling down for a long time to make 147. Go to 154. Them man ain't boiling down. Them man are big like you. It's not going to be. It's going to be worse.
No, but the thing is, if he has a chart, like I think this immediate rematch is insane. Okay, because Crawford is at they say 30, 35. They say that's the new 2025. I honestly believe Terence has lived the life also, ladies and gentlemen. He has dedicated himself completely, immersed himself in boxing and training, and has delivered every single time. Now, where we have to show the comparisons is that I gave people the science. I said, look, Sean Porter is the closest comparison that you could, and I don't like you, Trevor. I don't like using the rule of three. However, if you look at both, Sean Porter, we need to put some goddamn respect on Sean Porter's name, okay? Because Sean Porter went life and death with Errol Spence. Literally, there was a knockdown that separated them. I had that fight a draw until that knockdown. I'll be real. As much as I was like, oh, Showtime, god damn it, I want you to win. That's how I had it. And in the 10th round against a one Terence Bud Crawford, you know, we've all seen the videos. His training team, an incredible training team, by the way. Okay,
they're so
Omac, eat as many Cheetos as you want to, my bro, because you deserve it, rude boy. Okay, you deserve all the Cheetos in the world that you want. Because in that 10th round, he said to him, "You're down." He was like, "I'm up." He was like, "No, you're down."
Lost his mind.
"I'm up." He was like, "What did
he say? You got me fucked up." All right,
I bet, Trav. I bet. And then literally not even 30 seconds later, a soul had left the building. I actually said to people that Terence Bud Crawford will, you know, like the good Lord, create a new constellation called the Sharky Way. And every time I stare outside of my window and I see that Sharky Way, I think to myself, you know what? Thank you, Terence. Thank you.
But you know what, Rico? I'm not gonna lie, because you know, naturally after just seeing my boy get absolutely pummeled, man, I don't even know what you want to call that, man. You obviously look at Crawford. I was looking at Crawford a lot more, and I think one of his best fights at welterweight for me is against Benavidez, man. I can't lie. It took him until they pretty much went to the 12th round. There was that it took him out, but throughout the fight, it was quite competitive because Benavidez switches as well. You know, there was some skill. You know, he was patient. I just think, like, when you look at his overall work, Crawford, man, you got to just put nothing but respect, man. And from now on, he just needs big fights, man. He just needs big fights.
No, I was gonna say, you know what I think it is? It's like, you know, when I think he's gonna have one of those twilight careers. Do you see what I'm saying? Because I've been following Crawford for a while, and I've known he's special, but like, I feel like the last two performances, it's like, you know, when something just clicks. And it's like, no, we're in an absolute rhythm as a team, as a fight, everything. We're zoned in. This is our apex moment. Like with Lennox, Manuel Stewart, it happened towards the end where it was like, who's going to beat this man now? And that's what he's stepping into. And now he's fully there where it's like, bro, if you go in to fight Terence Crawford, you're fighting for like a real, it's bigger than the belt. You're in there with the guy. It'll be like beating Floyd. Yeah, it's like beating Floyd. That's what that would feel like if you were to go and beat Terence Crawford today.
In this era,
now, can I give you guys a scenario? Okay, because I asked this on my show yesterday. Now, actually, before I put the scenario through, I'd like to know all of your opinions on a 154 Charlo, the only one that we've seen birth certificates, and the only Charlo that is truly in existence. I think it's spelled MELL. Shout out to Mama Charlo.
Yeah, Jamel.
That's the one. Now, how do we fancy his chances against a one Canelo Alvarez? Now, remember, people are talking about the weight. You know, I've had people come on and say, oh, why is he moving up to 168? First of all, that man should have been at 160 last year. Okay. My personal opinion, I'm just giving the science. Now, Trav, Trey, Chris. First, you, Trav, what do you think about you know, Jamal Charlo's chances? How do you think the fight goes? And, you know,
I think he's got a chance. Do you know what I mean? And I think it's more to do with about Canelo's slip where he's at right now, because Canelo he's on his way down. He's on his way. Do you know what I mean? He's on his way out of the sport. Not in any fast motion. It's just, it's not upward trajectory anymore. It's on his way down. So yeah, I don't think we're not in a bad place. Do you know what I mean? Them men are not. It's not Mayday in the Canelo camp by any means. But he's not the same guy as he was 2 years ago. Do you know what I mean? Guy in the distance with John Ryder. There's just certain things that you see in there. It's just like, oh, okay. You know what I mean? A slick fighter that knows what he's doing will be able to give you some issues. Bivol beating him was a big thing. Do you know what I'm saying? Because it's not like he went in there and just grown-manned him and just beat him up because he was too big. He outboxed him in there. So it can be done. It's just whether or not you can carry it out. Do you see what I'm saying? It's like, you know, you watch a player like, you know, someone like Lionel Messi play, and yeah, cool. On the board before you walked out onto the pitch, he said, yeah, stop him in the middle of the pitch. Okay, cool. Now do it then. That's really the issue there, because Canelo, I don't think Canelo slipped that much. Do you know what I mean? So I don't necessarily think Charlo's going to go up 2 weight classes and beat Canelo in September, personally. But I do leave room for, you know, downward trajectory for Canelo to maybe make it more competitive than it probably would have been 2 years ago.
I mean, so, right. Trey, I'd like your thoughts. And then Chris, I'd like your thoughts on the whole thing.
Big up Travis, man, because that's exactly what I was thinking. It all depends on what Canelo shows up. Are we going to see the Jack Ryder Canelo, or are we going to see the Canelo of old? Because if the Canelo of old shows up of maybe 2 years ago, then it could look a bit long for Jamel. But look, Jamel has been motivated. You've seen the clips. I think for one of Canelo's fights, he was like, I could beat him. So there's always been sort of that study on him. I think this has always been the plan. I think when we initially saw the news, when we saw Charlo Canelo, everyone assumed it was the 160 Jamal, but the news was always Jamel from what PBC are saying. So I think that he's got a chance. It's bad to say, but it just depends on what Canelo shows up. Because if the Jack Ryder Canelo shows up, then Jamel has a big chance of doing something. Whereas if the Canelo of old shows up, then we're in for scrappers, because Charlo is, he's game. And you've seen how he is, man. I don't know if you man see it, and Travis probably know. Do you remember from the Tony Harrison and Charlo press conference number 2? You saw the build-up when Harrison was talking. He was talking.
And he was talking smack. He said you cried. He said you cried after that presser.
You could just see Charlo was just biting his lip. He's like,
was mad.
I can't wait to get you in the ring. And you just saw the energy, man. So look, that's my thoughts, man.
Christopher?
Charlo, my only concern is that he's been inactive for like over a year, whereas Canelo's been active. Do you know what I mean? But going into this fight, I think we're gonna get the John Ryder Canelo. I think he's gonna. I personally think he's gonna overlook Charlo, because he even said it. He said, "Give me anyone, I'm ready." Do you know what I mean? But I think Charlo's got a good chance of winning. A good chance of winning. If not, it could potentially be a draw where they could possibly run it back again. That's just my personal opinion, because I think Charlo, he's a sore loser. And this is a big opportunity. If Charlo beats Canelo, boy, he's set. He's set.
He's gone.
He's set. He's got nothing to lose. He can lose the rest of his. He can lose any fight, but he's beating Canelo.
But if he comes back down to 154, Crawford is going to smoke his boots, right?
Crawford is waiting for it. That's what everyone wants to see. Everyone wants to see that beef. From when Crawford was just looking at Charlo and was like, "You're next."
Travis, grabbing the nuts, pointing to him and saying, "You are next."
As a fan, I'm not gonna lie. Look, it's so to say. I wish. Look, I know we're gonna see the Canelo fight, and look, Charlo has a chance of becoming undisputed twice. But I would rather him fight Crawford after that, man.
Absolutely,
that looks like a scrappers where Errol is gonna show up, and he's gonna be supporting Charlo, so it's deeper. It's deeper than boxing.
Man, just sweeping through the camp, sweeping through the gym. I won't be surprised if he calls out AJ next. It's like, hey, listen, you out here trained by Derek James? Shit, I'm coming to heavyweight.
He's smoking on every Derek James fight pack.
Crawford is on some Lamar from BMF energy right now, fam. He's on everybody. All of you, man, watch out for me.
Thank you so much. Obviously, we have the good brother Trav for another 9 minutes, so I'm going to run the gauntlet just really quickly. Now, obviously on the timeline, you don't have to answer this question. You and Coogan seem to have a bit of a back and forth. When are we going to get you in a Misfits ring? And if not, and as I said, you don't have to answer this.
Look, I called him out. I called him out straight away. Do you know what I mean? I don't know what he was getting onto me about. Yeah, he said something about, I can't even remember what it was, but I was just like, do you know what? Let's scrap, innit? Like, I don't know. It just felt better unprovoked. I was like, when for me, if I've done something that's like, all right, cool, we're stepping on toes here, and I get the response. I'm like, all right, cool. Like when I piss off Fury fans, when all these little trolls come out, and I'm sure they all run by like two brothers.
Put them all
So
in the dirt, Trav.
Yeah,
or
bro, I
tag
just
me,
smoke these
and we
man.
can do it together. Pause.
Come on now. But he came on to man. I thought, hold on a minute. That energy's a bit crazy. Because I tried to banter it first, yeah. Then he came in again. I was like, you know what? Well, let's go then.
Let's do it anyway.
Let's have it. You know, like how Dylan says it, man. Like,
yeah,
let's have it, man. Let's go. Let's go.
His energy weren't really like he was trying to do that though, because I was like, because you know what man's like, well, no, I'm just saying. I was like, cool, I'll just keep it moving then.
Thank you so much for that, Trav. Just obviously really quickly. Again, thank you, my brother, so much for blessing us just with such an amazing pod, amazing vibes, amazing energy. You know, just talking boxing with the good brothers Chris and Trey and yourself, it's been absolutely immaculate. Now is, you know, obviously you were on tour. If not, I think you're still on tour. I believe that you
No, not at the moment. Not at the moment.
No, you're not on the tour in the minute. Is there anything as fans that we have to look out for from one Travis J, from the Undisputed podcast, Undefeated podcast, my bad. What is there for us and the fans to look out for?
Yeah, we're cooking on the comedy side of things. I'm cooking some stuff right now. There's going to be some announcements in a couple of weeks. Just on the boxing side of things, do you know what I mean? We're really just trying to push this thing forward. Do you know what I mean? Just keep building, keep growing, and just keep pushing down boundaries. Do you know what I mean? Like, people sometimes get onto us, you know, and they're, oh, how comes you don't do this, or you're biased about this and that? Bro, we own all our biases in it. Like, when it comes to me, better, bro. I do. Straight up, I tell it straight. I'm like, don't ask me about Anthony Yard. That's my guy in it. I've got his back. This is where it is. It's not gonna be. Yeah, I mean, you're looking for me
in the camp.
Oh, no Christmas gift from Lyndon Arthur. No,
don't care. I'm not really looking for that. You know what I mean? I'm on that side. You know what I mean? It's about AJ. I'm a fan of AJ. I like a story. I like what he's doing. I back these people. Do you know what I mean? But I think where it's like where we do that, KG's got his own, you know, different fighters as well. But I challenge to talk sports. I challenge these platforms because you lot claim to be unbiased, but you keep having your biased stances in every different type of conversation. So I just like to stick on these people because them man can't threaten me with nothing. I don't really care about going to fights. I like watching boxing from home, fam. I get instant replays. I get to hear the interviews afterwards. I ain't got to worry about drunk man left and right. I'm cool. So nobody can threaten me with nothing. So that's the energy I like in this boxing space. So, brother, man, I'm just here to have a good time, man.
Like I said,
Rico, can I quickly ask Travis something, just quickly?
Of course. Yo, Chris, Trey, we have, I believe, another 6 minutes of
6 minutes. Let me just quickly run this through. Obviously, you know, you're quite familiar with the Eubank family, of course. You got Junior, his fight coming up. What do you think about that that whole scenario with Senior, Junior? My personal opinion, I think Senior should be at the fight, not in the corner, but just supporting his son, because I just don't like that, you know, that energy, the talk sports stuff, and that. What's your thoughts? You think he's gonna win?
I feel the same. I feel like it's very sad that we're watching a family situation play out like this, and it's like when we talk about the Eubank situation, it's just like, bro, they've lost Seb. Do you know what I mean? And Seb was a good brother, man. I know Seb. Do you know what I mean? Just away from the boxing space and stuff like that, really good guy. So I'm that must have hurt the family to a severe degree. Do you know what I mean? Seeing Eubank Senior in the public space, he's not looked great. Do you know what I mean? I didn't like the fact that these men were just jeering for him to just say these flagrant things about his son. You know what I mean? I don't like the fact that he said it. Do you know what I mean? Because think about, like, end of the day, your son, as a son, you're hearing your parents say something that flagrant about you, it hurts. And you know, Eubank Jr. is a very stoic dude. He's not an emotional guy. But there's certain things that just go to the spirit regardless. And you watching this stuff play out. Eubank's at a lost place of his career. He had the money for the Ben thing. The thing fell apart with the whole Conor Ben situation. He's lost to Liam Smith on the bounce. Now he's coming into a rematch, which I don't know that he can win. He's not with Roy Jones anymore, which I think is a good thing. I didn't like that partnership anyway. He's with Bomac now. Now, I understand the success of Terence Crawford, but it doesn't work like that. We saw Amir Khan with Bomac, and he got smoked immediately. So
Khan was 2 minutes away from pulling out from that fight. Okay, we can't disrespect the king of Cheetos right now, Travis.
I'm not disrespecting Bomac. I'm just saying that these relationships, they don't just start and just work like that. Yeah, so for me, like, Eubank Jr. was at a pool party in Vegas this weekend, enjoying
60%. Yeah,
brother, this is what I'm saying. I don't know how serious he is about this thing. I don't know what he's serious about anymore. But I just think, you know, to your question, the whole Eubank breakdown is sad, and I hope that it comes together in a way where just as a family, they're good. And I hope that Eubank somehow, and this is my own personal thing, I hope Eubank Jr. wins a world title one day, because I want to see a world where Eubank Jr. is a champion, and the nonsense that he would make us sit through. You forget, listen, Eubank Jr. with the big collars and the massive trainers with the skinny jeans, that guy's capable of anything. Let him get a world title, and he's pulling up in Oxford Street in his McLaren F1, and he's stopping traffic with the belt on like it's a real belt.
I mean, perhaps the IBO, definitely.
Who cares? I want him to get a strap again. I need to see. He was in the club with the IBO belt, you know. Big rave.
No, you're not telling me that. You're not telling me that he was standing with the IBO.
Letting girls take pictures with the belt.
No, you're joking.
Don't you dare limit Eubank Jr., fam. I want him to get the WBC strap at 160 somehow. And let's all sit back and watch the show, because I like the guy. I always buy in. All he's got to do is do that.
You know what, Trav? If you're right, I will be with a Chris Eubank Jr. shirt and a KFC bargain bucket. Right.
Oh, that's important.
And I will take a picture. 60% tattooed on my neck.
Listen, that whole 60% stuff. Genius. I will listen to a Eubank Jr.
Why is it taking him so long? I know we only have you for 2 minutes, but we've just seen now the real Chris Eubank Jr. I love it.
Now,
like,
listen, yeah.
I don't want him to finish.
Go back and watch an interview that he did with Stephen Bartlett, and you start to understand this change that's happened. And I feel like, you know, he spoke about his brother passing, and his brother was in Dubai same time he was in Dubai. And it's like, it's a really kind of a sad story, but a poignant lesson to learn in life, where he's like, you know, my brother, he said he wanted to link up when we were out there, but I just didn't really want to see anybody. Do you know what I mean? And it was cool. And they both left. He left, and his brother passed away, and he never got to kind of see him again. And I think that moment there has been the knock-on that's made him make these decisions. He's like, Rah, the offer fight comes in for Conor Ben. They're saying, come down to 157. Do it. Life is short. Do you know what I'm saying? You start to understand the pattern of how things play out afterwards. He's like, Rah, Conor's not around. Say no more. Liam Smith, let's have it. Let's go. Like, these are very erratic decisions off the back of a life-changing event. And I'm looking at it, I'm thinking, I just want him to end in a better place than he is in now.
I want the Billy Joe Saunders fight.
Oh.
No, Billy Joe Saunders, sorry, he's going to light heavyweight.
He's going to light heavy now, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah.
Mad things are happening, fam.
2023 is a brilliant year, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, 2023 is just outrageous in every type of sense of the way and fashion of the word. However, I just want to say thank you again so much, Travis, for giving us your time.
No problem,
just
man.
Giving us all the love. Like, it's you know, it's been absolutely amazing. Obviously, you got great things happening with the comedy. You are an actor. You are an activist. You are somebody that obviously I've looked up to for many years. And Chris and Trey will agree with me when I say, you know, we wish nothing but the best for you. We want nothing but the best for your career, and hopefully we can, you know, do some more stuff in the future.
Yeah, man. Let's definitely do this again. This was fun. Still, this was fun.
Thank you so much for joining us, Travis. Chris and Trey, if you have any last minute things to say to Mr. Travis J.
Yeah, Travis.
Yeah.
You know my brother-in-law. He's a comedian. I'll message you him. You know who he is.
Who?
He's well known.
Who?
I'm gonna say it live. He's well known. I'll message you. I'll inbox you.
Say no more, bro.
No, legendary Travis, man. God bless my brother. Look, we're massive fans from afar. So it was good to have you on the show today just to talk boxing. Yeah, it was good to get a bit of roasting as well, man. Obviously, Spence.
I didn't do you like the rest of the man that I've done.
No, but look,
really and truly, I could have put man 10 feet. But I love you. You're my brother, and I'd never ever do that so in front of everybody like that. I believe that the group chat was popping that day, but no, just to summarize and just to kind of end it, like, look, Trav, you know, have an incredible day. God bless you and your family. I hope you have wealth, health, eternal happiness, and yeah, you know, it's we are here, iBoxingHub. We've had the legendary Travis J in the building. Thank you so much. Everybody have an incredible day. All the listeners, thank you for coming through. It's been a madness. It's been great. It's been intelligent. It's been boxing. Thank you, everybody. Good night, guys.
Peace.